Civil society organizations continue to be independent, active participants in the political and economic process in Malawi, and many laws have been developed in a concerted process allowing for the participation of all the citizens. Even as we continue to deepen democracy, we are mindful that economic development has lagged behind. You may wonder if good governance is sufficient condition for economic growth and development. We believe that good governance and democracy are necessary conditions, but will not by itself eliminate poverty and inequality across Africa. Allow me for a moment to sketch the challenges we're tackling in order to have a democracy that moves in tandem with our quest for economic self-determination. The challenges of expanding and deepening democratization are multi-faced, but I shall only mention a few. The challenge is one. The slowdown in Malawi's economy presents a great challenge to the deeper and expanded democratization of the citizens, of which the citizens have legitimate expectations for greater and political economic freedoms. To meet these expectations requires real resources, both financial and human. And yet we currently lack direct budget support from our development partners following the withdrawal of donors in response to very poor financial management and corruption that preceded my government, popularly known as Cashgate. We are now in the process of restoring full integrity to our public resources management culture and systems. I've strongly condemned corruption at all levels, both in the public and private sector. Since I was elected to office 6 months ago, my administration has had a policy of zero tolerance towards corruption, including the successful prosecution of senior government officials found guilty in our courts. The process is ongoing and will continue until its logical conclusion, to rid the public sector of the scourge of corruption. In Malawi, no one is above the law. As a law professor myself, I know what this means, and will be true to the values that I developed here at Yale many years ago. In addition, my government has embarked upon the process of reforming the public sector and strengthening public finance management to ensure efficiency, accountability, responsiveness to our people's needs and requirements. The Constitution enjoins us to do so. As a step towards deepening development, we are in the process of setting up a National Planning Commission, which will be empowered to facilitate long-term economic development planning to avoid political short-sightedness. In terms of policy implementation, lack of skilled labor has been another challenge. This has undermined sustained growth and our efforts to diversify the economy. The skills challenge has come from a skilled education philosophy that has not been meeting market and industry demands. For a long time, we fought to provide education to underpin manufacturing and export. We are now rolling out community colleges across the country to create a skilled labor force that will meet the demands of investors, create new businesses that will set the country on the road to industrialization. We're equally committed to supporting the private sector to truly act as an engine of growth. At present, the government is the biggest employer, but we'll reverse this by facilitating the rapid expansion of private sector investment. Our goal is to diversify the economy and to double the exports from Malawi by 2019 and turn Malawi from a predominantly importing and consuming country to a predominantly producing and exporting country. Fellow Yaleans, I've stated that Malawi's first decade of democracy made progress in setting up structures and institutions of democracy, but our economic progress remained modest. The second decade of Malawi's democracy moved towards economic self-determination led by Professor Bingu Mutharika. Under his leadership, we began to guide the country towards more homegrown economic policies in promoting the use of subsidies in agriculture against the position of some of our first Western development partners. This policy led to self-sufficiency. I would like to state here that it is the primary duty of my government to ensure the deepening of democracy and economic determination in Malawi. Our philosophy is that the ultimate goal of the government is to make possible the good life and the happiness of all its citizens. We are committed to democracy and development because our government needs to provide its people with a better quality of life. We are fully conscious that democracy only gives an illusion of power to the people and to ourselves if the people are not economically empowered. How can the people have true freedom if you don't have the power to make economic choices? Just over a year ago, I stated, quote, our first task is to create a proper economic, political, and democratic system. Our task is to recreate an environment that gives our people hope and belief once more, end of quote. This remains our task today and for the foreseeable future. I thank you for giving me this opportunity to return to Yale and share my vision with you, and thank you very much for listening. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. For those of you who I haven't